Podcast. We are here today with some gentlemen from a really cool company in the moto world. It's called mxfitco.com or mxfitco. We are here today with a couple of people that represent that brand, and we want to kind of let them talk about the program and tell you a little bit about how it came about. So I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about the company and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Appreciate it. My name is Jeremy Keech. You can find me at Jeremy Keech on Instagram. And, dude, the whole start of MX Fitco really began with, like, a bad injury myself. It was just a normal practice day out at Fox Raceway. Was just riding, having some fun with some buddies. And long story short, kept pushing myself when I probably shouldn't have. This is before I started taking the fitness side of the sport serious. And next thing I know, I wake up. I'm on the stretcher. They're putting me in the ambulance. And, dude, long story short, fractured my skull in the back, was completely knocked out, tore my rotator cuff, had to have surgery there. And this was just like a big turning point for me where I was like, fuck, dude, I need to start taking the fitness side of the sport serious. And so from there on out, really it started with just bouncing back from that. I started going to the local tracks. Luckily, living here in SoCal, you can go to Glen Helen on a Thursday. You can go to
plenty of options.
Right. You can go to Paula on a Tuesday, and you can go up to guys like Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, Chase Sexton, all these dudes. And just an innocent kid, I started going up to him and being like, hey, man, like, what do you do for your workouts? Like, how do you structure it? What about nutrition? And
so let's back up. How old were you when you got hurt?
I was 18. It was senior year of high school.
Okay.
Senior year of high school.
And prior to that, where were you trying to go actually in the sport? I mean, did you see yourself kind of going pro? Was this something you were going to just try to like hit the amateur scene hard and see what you could do with it? Like, where were you at as far as what you were chasing at 18? Yeah,
I was chasing, really trying to get to the highest level possible myself. I had a big break in between riding from like 50s, 65s.
Okay.
And then took a big break. I think part of it was my mom not wanting to see her son get hurt, and then financial with my pops. And then from there, dude, once I got my first job, 15 years old, saved up some money, quit the high school baseball team, bought my dirt bike, and then was just going hard from there. And at that point worked up to be about a B rider, B-class rider, and was just trying to be the best I could, riding at least 2 or 3 days a week, doing what I could, working part-time. And then, the injury happened, and I was bouncing back from that injury.
Okay.
That was still the mindset, but I started taking what these pros told me and implementing it, and it turns out the shit works, you know? And
so based on what you're saying is you just kind of like took an accumulation of different information, kind of different training techniques, and then just kind of developed something you thought would be able to fit to the average guy. I mean, clearly we all know the average person doesn't have the Eli Tomac budget, doesn't have the time, the training facility, so on and so forth. So, you know, did you kind of customize yours to kind of the everyday moto dude? You know, for somebody like myself who's 43 years old, just kind of got into the sport, but looking to get faster, is that kind of your target market, or what do you look? Where's your target? Who's your target market?
Man, we work with everybody really. We have some pro riders all the way from, you know, an 8-year-old all the way up to a 68-year-old who's still riding. Couple like privateer level racers, but man, I think our best kind of just like our go-to is your normal guy, works a 9 to 5, rides on the weekends, wants to figure out what he can be doing during the week to ride better and have more endurance on the weekend. Okay. So that's kind of our go-to, but we work with everybody.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And then, I mean, kind of talking about that, in your opinion, you know, there's a safety factor involved too, which you kind of mentioned earlier. Is most people look at fitness as in, okay, dude, I just need to drop my lap times. I'm just trying to, you know, I finished 10th and now how do I break the top 5? But what you're mentioning is coming a little bit more from the actual safety perspective and having people understand that if you are in better shape and you are doing the right exercises and you're hitting the track, you know, with all those tools, that it actually kind of boils down to the safety part of it as well.
Yeah, there's so many variables, right? Like, obviously, all sorts of things can happen when you're on a dirt bike. You could hit a rock, you could make a mistake, whatever. But, like, let's check off as many boxes as possible to be the safest riders we can possibly be, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, get the fitness on point, get the nutrition on point, your hydration, your riding technique, and check off all these boxes so that the only way you end up on the ground is I mean, it just happens. You ride dirt bikes,
Yeah.
you live on the ground, but
You
check off the boxes.
Got it. And so the program too, though, is kind of tailored to what people have accessible to them. And what I mean is, not everybody has the ability to go out and buy organic food, and they have this top-notch gym membership, and some people don't have all of those luxuries. So is the program also amenable to the people that you would say, hey, you know what, look, I got to eat within a budget. I don't have, a million exercises machines and treadmills and cryo crap and all the things that, most people have to get to that next level. You guys offer a program for just the simplistic, hey, I can work out in my garage. Here's kind of what my eating budget is. And you guys have developed a program for that kind of, person that's looking for that.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about what we do is everything is custom to each person.
Okay.
So, like, I mean, dude, the program that Eli Tomac's doing is not going to be the best for a 43-year-old dude that's trying to win world vets and, gets to ride once a week and shit, bro. It's different.
Okay.
So everything we do is custom to each person. I got some people that live in the middle of nowhere, and they're like, dude, I ain't got a fucking Walmart for 2 hours, bro. We ain't got no gym membership around here. So we make it work, dude, regardless.
Nice. All right, and then it seems like you brought somebody else with you today. I'll let you go ahead and make the introduction to your co-pilot here.
Yeah, this is Jake Sabatini. He actually started off as a client of mine about a year and a half ago, and long story short, just killed it. Got some cool results, both in just like race results on paper, but also just, man, how he was feeling on the bike, the arm pump, the way he was looking in the mirror, all the different pieces to it, and kind of got, I would say, borderline obsessed with all the different pieces to it. And I noticed that, of course. And when it came time where I was looking to hire someone, he was like the first guy I hit up. I was like, dude, you want a job? And he's like, are you serious, bro? Like, hell yeah, I want a job. And now he's been with me for over a year now and taking it super serious, getting all these certifications. And just, this dude is smarter than me now just because he's been so in depth with all the research and stuff like that. So that's Jake. And he's my head coach for MX Fitco. So
you're the head coach. So tell us a little bit about, dude, what the hell brought you out to California and how did you decide at, 20 years old to jump off the ledge and come out to Cali and try to make a run at, being a fitness coach in the moto industry?
So actually, I started off just like Jeremy with an injury. I was 18, just like him, graduating senior year of high school, and I broke my back. So I actually broke my L2, L3, S1, S2. So all low back stuff. How'd you
do that?
I was actually on my dad's 252 stroke, came off the face of a jump, and the bike bogged on me. We had just gotten the carb rebuilt, and apparently there was dirt in the main jet. So I came off the jump, bike bogged on me, sent me into a nosedive, went to go rescue rev, and the bike just shut off. So I went ass over tea kettle straight to my face. Bike hit me in the back, and I was just out. So I actually did that senior year of high school, and after that, I found myself in an engineering school in some like bum ass part of New York. There's not, back to what Jeremy was saying, where like we train people with nothing around. I was 45 minutes away from my nearest grocery store. There was nothing. So I was there, and I was a client of Jeremy's at that point, and I was going through it. And Jeremy had asked me if I wanted to help him out. And for me, I hated engineering. I have no idea why I stuck with it as long as I did, but it kind of gave me the opportunity to see where I needed to go. And so, of course, I jumped to the job, and I was giving him just like extra time that I had between classes and whatever. So I was working maybe like 6 hours a week. He was paying me pretty light. But I came home from school during summer, and I was mowing my lawn one day. And I was like, what if I just moved out to California and I worked with Jeremy full time? So I proposed the idea to my mom, and my mom was like, I'll back it. If this is what you want to do, then we'll go through with it. So I reached out to Jeremy. I was like, yo, let's get a house and let's do this. And
nice.
After a little bit, he hit me up. He was like, dude, I have a house. And he's like, come out. So long story short, I ended up out there about 3 months ago. And I've been with him since, and I don't see myself going anywhere either.
Very nice, dude. So, once again, what is it about the sport that kind of, being an outsider, not so much an outsider, but clearly being out in New York, which you told me is definitely not the mecca of the moto scene. but what is it that draws you to, you know, kind of the fitness side of moto? You know, getting credentialed, getting certified. Most people nowadays, they want to be some personal trainer at LA Fitness, just trying to bang chicks, and they don't really know their ass from a hot rock, right? But they're a personal trainer. I feel like everyone and their mother now is a personal trainer. But what is it about moto that you're like, okay, dude, like I want to learn about this and be able to apply it towards, you know, a very like niche industry?
So when Jeremy had started MX Fitco, there was nothing like it. There was no motocross personal training anywhere. So when I had found the program, I was like, this shit's sick. I need to be on this. And I feel like being part of an opportunity to help this niche group of people was huge. Okay. So like I thought I never saw myself as a personal trainer. I thought I was going to be an engineer. I thought I was going to be making like 6 figures a year out of college. And what kind of brought me into it was the fact that I was going to be part of something so much bigger than I am. I would be able to go out. I'd be able to help. We have hundreds of people that have gone through the program and that I've been able to help directly as the head coach. And it's just a huge opportunity that I had seen. And I was like, this is what I want in my life.
Nice. So a question for you, because obviously people are going to immediately jump to the only way to, you know, advance in moto, or the only way to advance in fitness is, you know, you got to have the trainer there with you. You look at the most common, you know, training videos. There's only a couple of people that stand out, which is Alden Baker and kind of Swanee. And clearly they're hands-on, standing there each and every single day. But, you know, what would you tell the average guy, you know, hey, you don't necessarily need that level of attention to be able to obtain the results that you want. And the second part is, how do you go about, you know, keeping people on the program? I think part of these programs, especially something like yours, that's, you know, maybe a little more app-based, Zoom-based, you're doing the check-ins. Where do you find, you know, the motivation? How do you motivate the people to say, hey, dude, I can't stand there at the gym with you, but I promise you, if you do this, I'm going to get you the results that you're looking for?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's honestly like the coolest part about what we do is, I mean, you see the pros, right? They have their personal trainer in the gym. They have their riding coach. They have their nutritionist. They have their chef. What you were saying earlier, they have their guy to wipe their ass for them. They have everything, bro. Tens of thousands of dollars a month to be able to do this and survive. And what's cool is what we've done is we've put all the pieces to the puzzle together. So you got your custom training plans, you got your nutrition, you got the accountability. Obviously, we're not there watching you and pushing you through the workout, but through the app, you submit the workouts to us. You lay everything out. We give you feedback on it. We do weekly check-ins. Jake does the weekly check-ins. Everybody gets a video, gets a one-on-one call every week. We do twice a week group Zoom calls. So we're very involved. And then with the on-the-bike stuff, obviously, same thing. We can't watch you ride, but we always recommend for all of our clients to give videos of themselves riding, send them in, and we go over those in depth on the Zoom calls, and then we'll give you, you know, structure to your riding sessions. All right, looks like you're not squeezing too well with your legs, or you need to ride on the balls of your feet better, so we'll give them drills for that.
Okay, and so this is interesting. So yeah, part of the program too isn't just necessarily the, hey, let me give you a workout routine. You know, here's an app, make sure you follow it, punch in the information. So you're saying part of the program too is the ability for them to send you videos and actually get some insight, you know, insightful tips on how to change their riding technique. That's part of something you offer with it as well.
Hell yeah, bro. My biggest thing is like, dude, I want to put all the pieces to the puzzle together. Okay. I want to help people put all the pieces to the puzzle together. And that's really what we focused on in just providing the best service possible, bro.
Got it.
I think that's why, like, I mean, dude, you guys, if you look at the website, you'll see dozens of people talking on camera, like, about the results they've seen. And I mean, dude, like, okay, the proof is in the pudding. Like, the people that join this program, they're talking on video saying, dude, shout out to Jeremy. I was doing 5-minute motos before. Now I'm doing 30-minute motos. Like, thank you. And it's there. So it's huge. But yeah, you can't just do one thing or the other. You can't just go to the gym and hire a personal trainer, for one, because they don't know anything about dirt bikes.
For sure.
I mean, like,
yeah, I tried that. I tried that route, and the guy had me doing these intensive fucking arm curl shit. And he's like, well, dude, if you work your fucking forearms, your body's going to be used to that. And I'm like, okay, but the problem is after the second lap, my fucking arms are ballooning up. So it's definitely interesting that, yeah, you can't go to the gym and get a personal trainer because most of them are going to know zero about dirt bikes.
And then you're still missing nutrition. We do ride day, race day, nutrition, hydration plans, and the community and everything. So it's
sweet.
Yeah, try to cover all angles.
So I got to ask you one more quick question, which is, what is, and obviously this is a little bit more on the business side of things, what's the retention rate? Let's say, basically, let's say, for example, you're saying you have, 100, 150 people on the program. What's the retention rate? Like you offer a program, which we'll let people go to the website to look at pricing. But for example, if they do a 16-week program, what percentage of those people decide to, like, okay, fuck that, this is working in my life. This is definitely, whether it's not just for moto, but being healthy and being in shape. What's the percentage of people that actually stay on above and beyond kind of that initial 16-week plan?
Yeah, I don't have a number. I would say, I mean, people sign up for a 16-week program, right? And man, I would say it's definitely a majority. Some people, and that's what's cool about this too, man, is my goal is, like, you do your 16-week program, you can take what you learn and run with it, bro. I want to fully educate you so you can go and do this on your own. But a lot of people get to the end of it and they're like, fuck, bro, I don't want to quit now. Like, let's keep going. And I think one of those, I don't know. What do you think percentage-wise? I would say people that get through 16 weeks and then continue with us, it's got to be around 60% or something like that, maybe. So
that's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. When you look at the grand scheme of things with memberships and gym memberships, they usually say about 1 in 10 people that buy a gym membership actually use it. So 60% is good. And I also think you've created a cool community because, as everybody knows, moto's a big community of people, right? Like and the fact that you can offer those riding tips and you could do the weekly Zoom check-in. So you're just kind of like shoot the shit. I was on the one with you guys on Tuesday, and it's cool to just hear some dude from Indiana's like, bro, I just killed a GNCC in the backwoods. And I've never done one of those in my life, but it's cool to hear him, talk about how his fitness has gone up. Cause I'm like, shit, dude, if you can ride a 3-hour GNCC, I got to stop crying that I can't do a 15-minute moto at Glen Helen. Right. So those kind of weekly check-ins are super cool.
Hell yeah, 100%.
But anything else, dude, real quick, you want to tell us about the program and then we'll kind of jump into some moto stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, anybody that's interested, wants, better endurance, stamina, or just doesn't know how to work out for motocross, like, hit up my DMs. Just shoot me a DM and slide in and see if we're a good fit to work
And
together.
Where can they find you on Instagram?
Instagram's at Jeremy Keech. That's where I'm most active. We're working on getting the YouTube started and rolling, but Instagram, you hit my DMs, you're going to get a response from me that day probably.
I wanted to add another thing, too. You were talking about retention rates and everything like that, and we have a handful of clients that have been coming up on a year with MX Fitco.
Henry's been on over a year.
And you guys have only been in the game 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years and 2 months or something like that.
That's pretty insane, dude, when you look at that and just say, hey, I started something less than 2 years ago in a sport that's small. You're not out there saying, hey, we're trying to get all the local baseball kids. Well, there's 10 million of them right on the corner. Right. But to be in a small sport like moto and know that you got, several hundred people that are like, it's working and they're staying on the program, dude, you guys should be very proud of that. I mean, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's really a family, honestly. Once you get past that 16-week point, it's so personal with every single one of those clients that you have. It's a community, it's a family, and we try to really support that too with the weekly Zoom calls and everything like that with everybody on it, and it's crazy.
Yeah, everybody there's some other online programs out there, but it's really just like, hey, here's like a general workout routine and like figure it out type shit.
Yeah.
It's not like you're getting on, like, dude, you hit my DMs, we'll schedule a phone call and you'll be on the phone with me the next day.
Good for you.
I try to just,
and I think people like that personalized attention, dude. They want to know, hey, you're charging me for a service, and then every time I have a question, I got to wait 3 days for a response. And I don't think people are too hip on that. But hopefully, dude, I smell a possible, collaboration going, dude. I think we'll get a suite for A1. Have some Motobookie dudes there. Have some MX fitness, people there, and get us a booth at A1, dude, and do something cool. So I'm looking into it right now. But dude, I'm glad you're here. I came up with a list of stuff. Give me a minute here. Let me re-pull up my list.
Dude, I mean, Pro Motocross is coming up this weekend, round one. I'm stoked. And I'm down to talk all things moto. Like, I follow the sport real deep. Jake kind of does. I've been really getting him on it. He's more of like, dude, there's some people that just ride dirt bikes and love it, but don't really care to watch it as much.
Bro,
it trips me out, honestly, because I'm a fucking obsessed with the sport, bro. But
so that to me is absolutely insane too, because I will go out to Glen Helen and be kind of parked around a bunch of dudes that I don't really know, and I'm like, yo, dude, the Supercross was sick, dude. Like, I can't believe that so and so threw it away, and they're like, yeah, bro, we don't watch that, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, that's what I live for. Like, what the hell do you mean you don't watch Supercross? And I find that very interesting. There's actually a large percentage of people that ride dirt bikes that don't watch Moto or Supercross.
It's a trip.
And that to me was a little bit, but I think it's if you give it the opportunity and just kind of sit down, dude, I think you got to go to one live too. Mm-hmm. TV doesn't tell the story. Have you been to a live event?
Yeah, actually they have, I used to live in Jersey, and at MetLife Stadium they have.
Okay, so that's like the East Rutherford kind of race now.
He follows it, but not as in depth as me.
I find that for me, like, I never really got into following it because either I was always at the track when it was on. I mean, we always had people with campers that would have it on, and you kind of like hang out by them and watch it. But a lot of the stuff when it's on like West Coast and it's going on at 8, 9, 10 on the West Coast, dude, it's 1 a.m. for me over in New York. So it was kind of hard to keep up with it, especially since it was so late for me. But a lot of it was just that I was at the track riding when all of this stuff was going on too.
Okay. Well, dude, I mean, I think there's two things. One is once you see it in person, I think you have another respect level for it. There's people that watch it on TV, and trust me, dude, I got some goon friends that are like, yeah, dude, why doesn't the guy just pin it and go through the little roller things? I go, oh, you mean the whoops that are like 3 feet deep that are all cupped out? I go, no, it doesn't work like that. You don't just fucking get back on the back of the seat and pin it. And my buddy goes, yeah, dude, every time they come around to that section of the track, bro, they just let off or they're not going very fast. I go, you have no idea, you know, how gnarly that is. And I didn't learn it myself, dude, especially like regarding the whoops. And just, do you envision ET3 ever getting back on the bike? If your answer is yes, why? If your answer is no, why?
I hope so, bro. I hope so. But, if I want to give you a yes or no.
What's your percentage pie?
Fuck, dude. I don't know, man. I think it's a 50-50, honestly, in terms of if he does or if he doesn't. Personally, I hope he does. I don't want to see him go out like that, but at the same time, like, if he does go out and never comes back, like, he did basically end on top. You know, he was about to win the title.
Correct.
He was dominating. But
careful, bro. You get burned down for that one. I started having a conversation, and I'm like, look, 2023 450 champ is Chase Sexton, but he didn't beat the champ. And people are like, yeah, bro, how can you say something like that? And I go, look, it's true. I said, I'm not taking anything away from him, but the truth is, Webb went down, almost got decapitated by AC, which is not his fault. And then he had a fluke injury to Tomac. Now, that's not Chase's fault, but I think he got handed the title.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that, bro. You could definitely say he got handed the title. You got to stay in it for the long run. But
you're right.
I do have a prediction, though.
What is that?
Sexton-wise. I mean, what are the odds Sexton wins this title right now? You saw what happened. I mean, and I'm not even like a huge Sexton fan or anything. I'm a Webb fan, actually. I like Webb because I like to look into the mental side, the mental game, and I love the mindset behind it and just reading the different athletes and their mindset behind everything. But I think Sexton, there's just some spiritual shit behind it, bro. He's number 23. It's 2023 right now. He's 23 years old. His number's 23, and also his birthday is on the 23rd of some month. So I think this is just his fucking year.
That's deep.
I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. He wins outdoors this year. He wins Super Motocross. And then he never wins another title again.
Oh, my God.
That's my take, bro. I'm telling you.
All right. There's real number one, boys. So, okay. I have some thoughts on that, and then we'll get to you on the ET3. My thought is that we don't ever see Tomac on a bike again. I think you will not find him in a position where he gets back on a bike knowing that Chase is a year faster. You got Jet a year faster. He's going to be 6 months minimum off the bike, plus another 6 months to get himself back in riding shape. I just don't see a world where Tomac comes back and is able to maintain that speed that they're going to have. He's going to be a year older, and I don't see him coming back to run third, fourth, fifth.
No, he's not going to come back unless he thinks he can win.
And I don't know that, of course, I think he thinks he can win. I think when he sits down with his dad in a year from now and says, dude, do we really think we can run that pace? Are we willing to put our body on the line or risk an injury into his 30s with kids and a family to try to prove that I can put the bike up front like that? I don't see it. I think we saw the last ride. Now, I would tell you, look, people don't realize that I think there's a lot more factors involved, and you start to have more of an intellectual conversation with people and you lose them on some topics. And it's like, it's not just him. He's got to sit down with his wife. He's got 2 young kids that he wants to raise. He's got tons of property in Colorado. His wife started a baby business. He's got so much other things going. He has to sit down and say, okay, I need a year to get back in shape, and then I need a year to get me back to see if I could even win this thing. So I got to dedicate 2 more years of my life, be without my kids because I got to train all week long, put my marriage on hold to some extent. I just don't see at his age and as wise as he is, him making that type of sacrifice to not really prove anything, because a comeback without a title actually, I think, devalues who ET3 is.
Yeah, that
right.
Suck.
It's like almost like I liked what Dungey did. Yeah, I thought it was great because he stepped away for so long. Now that would be different if you came to me and said, "Hey, man, I think he's gonna hang it up," and then in 5 years from now you see a fucking Insta clip of Tomac just throwing down whips in Colorado, going, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just run a couple outdoor races." That's a lot different. I just don't see him coming back with Jet and Chase and whomever else decides to step up in a year from now and being the old ET3. I just don't see it.
Damn.
How about you, dude?
So as much as I want to see him come back, I don't think he's going to come back. So I was actually watching one of your podcasts on the way here, and you were talking about how Roxon at one point was unstoppable, and he had that wrist injury that set him back, and he came back. He's just not the same.
Yeah.
Now, Eli just blew apart his Achilles. And that is not an easy recovery at all. And I feel like if he's coming back, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be at least a year before he's back to where he should be in terms of fitness or anything along the sorts. And then to be competitive again, it's got to be another year or 2 years, most likely. So I just don't see it.
No. All right. I mean, look, what I'd also like to see is not even a comeback, bro. Just come to Anaheim. Fucking put him in opening ceremonies and let him get like a proper farewell. Yeah. Like, fuck it, dude. Just come out there, bro. Throw a couple whips down over the triples, dude. Wave to the fans. I would tell you that would make me really happy, because I just feel like you can't let a guy that's been that big in the sport and who's that much of a badass. And the last clip we get to see is him and walking out of the Asterix deal on a fucking paddy wagon. So, I mean, I'd like to see, just for him to, like, I don't want to say a farewell tour, because no one wants to see Eli ride around in 6th or 7th. But just show up at Anaheim, bro. Let the fans celebrate you the way I think you should be celebrated, and then call it a day. That's kind of what I'd like to see that happen. I don't know if he's going to do that. He doesn't seem like he doesn't strike me as like a fucking media whore.
No.
Like, so, you know what I mean? Like, he just probably doesn't give a shit. But as a fan, I would really like to see that. So jumping into the next one, I kind of had in mind, I'm getting burned down on the internet for this one. Where do you see my boy Dylon in the outdoors, dude? Where do we see Dylan?
Oh, Dylan.
Dude? Yeah. Some of the podcasts call him Dylon, which I don't know why. I just like to, I stole that from them.
Man,
but
I see that you're hot on Dylan. You think he's going to come back swinging. Yeah. I would have to disagree with you. I think he's going to be up there. I think he's going to be running podiums. He might get some moto wins, but you also got to think he's on a new bike this year. This bike hasn't been proven in outdoors yet. I mean, Tomac did well on it in Supercross, but it's a new bike. I mean, he didn't race outdoors last year. He dominated the year before, but I really just don't see him just coming back and dominating like he did that year. Like I said, I got Chase, and it's not even because of anything other than the number 23.
Okay, so this will take us into the next little topic, but I'll finish off on the Dylan. What bike did he ride at the Nations?
I don't know. He was fast as fuck there, though.
So
he was fast there.
Internet goons, I know you're out there with your fingers fucking burning. Somebody put in the comments which bike he was on, because that to me is a little bit of a gauge, because he was on that shit at the Nations.
He was ripping.
So if he was riding
on the ground too, though.
He was on the ground, correct? Yeah. I mean, but he was rusty. My boy was.
I was there, by the way, bro. It was fucking.
Was it sick?
Sick, dude.
Okay.
Crazy. If they ever come back to the U.S., like, I'm going. I might even go to some other country because of just how cool it was.
My daughter wanted to go, man, and I didn't pull the plug, and I wish I would have. She was like begging me. I was like, it might rain. I don't know if I want to stand out there in the rain. But then again, I wish I would have gone. But with Dylan, I don't know, man. I think he's going to find that 2021 speed. And if he finds that speed, it's going to be deadly, because I think people tend to forget he won that title coming from behind.
Yeah,
he was reeling in people
on rails
from way back.
Yeah.
And I think that's just being massively overlooked. Now, I'm not telling you he's going to come back that way, but if he does, I think they better watch out.
Oh, if he finds Dylan, that, if he finds that comfort on the bike and he has that speed, I mean, bro,
he's going to be deadly,
dude. Like, it's just like his level of commitment beats everybody else, because he is all out, especially in outdoors. Like,
full send.
He doesn't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
He is just going for it. So, I mean, he's fun to watch.
All right.
But I'm also...
You got an opinion on Dylan, or you don't give a shit?
I got no idea.
No idea.
No
All
idea.
Right, dude. I can respect
watch
that.
Outdoor
season. Isn't he out with a head injury right now, though?
Dude, everyone's saying he's out with head injury. I saw on Instagram 2 photos of him riding. So I don't know, is this like one of those cat and mouse deals where, he has a head injury, and then all of a sudden he shows up at Paula in full stealth mode? I don't know. He's quiet on Instagram, but I did see a small clip of him riding, and I don't know
if we're allowed to put this out there. So I mean, if not, we could just cut it out. But Casey Cochran's mechanic, he was at our house at one point, and he said he's stuck in France.
Like 2 weeks ago, but we saw the clip.
So you told me that, and then it could be true, but I found that Instagram
he was at
deal.
The goat farm last week.
He was at the goat farm riding.
So he made it back to the U.S.
All right,
sure.
So step 1 out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
made it back to the U.S. He'll be at Paula. We can cross our fingers. That's what it looks like.
Look, dude, I don't care. Motobookie.com. Put your money where your mouth is. I got money on Dylan. Period. Dude.
I'll take your bet, bro. I'll go against it.
Look me up. I'm on there as bookie, bro. So I'm putting my cash in. Well, you kind of answered the Chase question by saying he'll win the title. So your thought is he comes out of the gates and Jet don't have any smoke for him?
Oh, Jet's going to have some smoke for him. Jet's winning motos this year for sure, and some overalls. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'm excited for Paula because Jet's undefeated there, bro. He hasn't even lost a moto there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jet's going to be good. Sexton won it last year, right, at the opener? I know he choked.
Sexton won the opener, and in the last one, he fucking fell apart like a cheap suit, dude. Because it was bad in that last moto. What, he fall 4 or 5 times?
Oh, yeah. It was.
All right, so good. You're taking Chase.
I'm taking Chase for the title, and it's not because of anything other than the number 23, bro. I'm telling you. There's some spirituals, and I'm just on some weird number shit right now.
Okay.
I swear to you, every time I open up my phone, I keep seeing numbers. Like, it's 1:11 o'clock, or it's 11:11, or it's 3:33, or it's 5:55.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think he has schizophrenia personally, but
I don't know. I'm just seeing like numbers.
I think our boy Jeremy over here may have had Epstein Barr from overtraining on the MX Fitco, and now he's seeing some spiritual stuff. But I respect that. Look, everyone's got their own take. I would tell you I disagree on the Sexton deal. I really do. I know it's a dark horse, dude. I just feel like Verandis is going to find that 2021 speed, and these boys are going to be in trouble. Maybe not at Paula. Maybe not at Paula. Give him 2 or 3 rounds. Let everything settle back in. Let everything come back around. But so another rider I'd like to kind of touch on, and I don't know what your thoughts are. You know, I've always been a big Austin Faulkner fan.
Mm-hmm.
Been a huge fan, dude. I've met him out at Glen Helen a number of times, and he's a very, very nice.
Super
He's
cool.
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool to me. Where do you think his career goes? I mean, clearly For outdoors, he's not going to be a threat at all. I don't even think he's
Is
not
he
even
healthy?
No. I watched some of his Instagram stuff, and it looks like, he's back on like a pedal bike and shit, but I think he's several months away from being back on the bike. But let's just talk about, where do you think his career goes? I mean, come A1, obviously he'll always be a factor, but do you think, his days of having glory on a 450 have come and gone?
Dude, it's a tough question. It's a tough question for sure. He's still so good at Supercross, bro. It's ridiculous. I think, in the last 2 injuries that he's had were just freak deals, bro.
Yeah, the jet one wasn't his fault.
Right. And then the whole shot one this year, right? It
Fluke
was just
deal.
Fluke deal. So I think he's got the just riding over his head shit figured out. I don't think that's the problem anymore. I think next year, 250 class, hopefully we'll see Hunter moves up too.
Okay.
And I think he could easily win a title.
Okay. So you think a healthy Austin Faulkner takes out like a Shimoda, a Hampshire, an up and coming Deegan, Thrasher, Kitchen. I mean,
think Faulkner can run those guys down for sure, speed wise. It's just gonna be a matter of if he can keep it on 2 wheels.
And you think when AC, I know AC got another 1-year deal. You think when AC steps away, Cowie gives Faulkner that seat?
I don't know about that.
No,
I don't know about that. I don't know. I hope for his sake, bro. Cause same thing. Like, I went up and talked to him, and he was the coolest dude, bro.
Yeah.
And gave me a ton of insights. So,
yeah. I saw him out at Glen Helen, dude, and he was telling me about just his R8. He got an Audi and R8 and shit, and like how the oil plug got stripped because some dude fucked it up. And he was a very, very nice guy, dude. I've always liked Austin Faulkner, and it's a bummer to see like shitty shit that keeps a rider out. The cross jumping thing was an accident, but it put him out. But yeah, I hope he comes back, man. I would tell you, I don't think he could beat Shimoda anymore. Ooh. I think those days are gone. I think Sushi's got it all figured out. Granted, I know people, he just fucking broke his collarbone. No, I know that, but
he's back.
I think Joe's the real deal. I like his style. He never really looks completely out of control. The thing I don't like about Faulkner, every time I watch him, you're like on the edge of your seat. You feel like, fuck, is the big one coming? Is the big one coming? So, I think, I'd like to see him do something, but he may be a lifer on the 250, my friend.
Fuck, bro. I hope not for his sake.
Because there's a lot of talent coming up in limited spots. I just don't see a team investing. He's had a lot of injuries. I don't know.
He's going to have to put in a good season, back-to-back Supercross and outdoors to land a factory deal. Yeah. I would say.
Like put 2 really good ones together.
Yeah, like 2 championships maybe, or like a Supercross championship and then a top 3 in outdoors. Then he could probably land like a B rider deal somewhere. Yeah.
All right. So jump in a little bit. What are your thoughts for the outdoors? Do you think that anybody has a shot at dethroning Hunter?
No, I think Hunter dominates. I think Hunter dominates 250s. Who else we got? I think it's going to be Hunter. I think it's going to be Shimoda, Hampshire, and Kitchen, and then Deegan.
All right, I'm going to throw a name out there for you that
who else we got?
You may be overlooking, who I'll put money on for the title that you didn't mention. And I'll put money on him to whoop Hunter. Jay Coop.
Oh, duh. How do I forget Justin Cooper?
Because
he hasn't been racing.
The fucker hasn't been racing.
Yeah,
and then he jumped on that 450. He jumped on that 450.
He was good.
He was ripping on the 450, so now he's got a little bit of an idea of what it's like to run with the big dogs. I think he's been testing his ass off.
He's fast outdoors. He's been riding outdoors.
He's been riding outdoors while everybody's been banging the indoors and battling for titles. My boy's been out at the goat farm just grinding. So I don't know a lot of people. Bro, I forgot about him in my early prediction podcast on Motobookie. Yeah. I made the same prediction. I go, Hunter, Sushi, RJ. And out of nowhere, my daughter goes, what about Justin Cooper? Whoa. And I was like, oh, shit, I totally forgot about him.
It's because he hasn't been racing.
Hey, Motobookie.com, look me up at Bookie, bro. I'm going heavy bets on Justin Cooper at Paula. I really do, dude. I think that Star Bike's fast.
Not at Paula, I don't think.
Yeah, but Hunter don't ride Paula a lot either.
True.
Hunter don't ride. And also, stamp this one, too. I got Deegan for one of the motos to win one of the motos.
win a moto this season?
No, at Paula.
Oh, at Paula.
Huh. That's his fucking
Yeah,
track, bro. You got to remember,
Bro,
nobody has spun more laps at Paula than Hayden Deegan.
That dude rips there too, bro.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And he
I've
lived
seen him
right down the fucking block.
Yeah, I've
We
seen him
grew
right
up
there.
down the block.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming in hot with my Deegan wins a moto at Paula. I'll
That would
stick
be
by that.
wild.
I'm not telling you he's going to win a title. I don't think he's there yet. But at Paula, don't be surprised if he rips a hole shot and pulls off a win.
That would be cool as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
You got any thoughts on it, or you really don't give a shit, or what?
No, I'm gonna go with you on the Deegan thing, winning a moto at Paula.
All right.
I could totally see it because I was actually just at their old compound. So I was out pit bike riding and I found myself where they used to spin laps on the
right
turn
there
track.
now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
live like 5
Is it his
minutes
old
from there.
property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
still
okay.
own it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Nice.
I got to like see everywhere that they were riding and the shit's
So basically,
gnarly.
you trespassed on the fucking Deegan compound.
No, were you on it?
No.
Okay.
I was there's like
There's
bar-
land around it.
There's
It's like hills, bro. There's jumps and shit right there. It's cool.
Okay.
There's a barbed wire fence that like runs along the edge of the property, and I was like,
And
I was trespassing in the nature reserve that was right next to it, but I got to see all the shit that they were doing.
And how far from Paula is that?
20 minutes.
Okay,
20,
so yeah,
25.
because there'd be times every single time that I had the opportunity when I first started riding. The first place I rented a dirt bike for my daughter about 3 years ago just to see if she liked it, and the guy brought it to Paula. So I thought that was the only track I could go to because I didn't know of any other tracks. So I would drive all the way from South Pasadena to Paula to ride, and every single time that we were there, he was there. And this is when he was on Super Minis.
So fast.
Ripping, bro.
Yeah.
He was going so fast on a Super Mini. You're just looking, going, holy shit! Like he never lets off.
Mhm.
He just pinned it. So I don't know, dude. I'm hot and heavy on old Danger Boy to take a win at Paula. That's just my thought. So I got a couple more things regarding the Jet and Deegan. And I want to pose a question, being that you've started the business and we've been talking business kind of all day leading up to the podcast. Let's just say you're a team, you got an unlimited budget, right? You come to you and say, hey, we're starting a new team. Money's not an issue, but here's the 2 riders we're looking at. You're looking at, and let's just take out of it Jet's current accomplishments, because that's not fair. We're not comparing apples to apples. Who would you pick for a long-term investment from every perspective, not just winning championships, but selling product, likability, the media presence that Deegan currently brings with him? If you said I had an unlimited budget and we're going to make a long-term investment and here's the 2 riders you could pick from, who do you pick and why?
Fuck, bro. That's tough.
Got to hit you with the good ones, bro.
That's
I can't
tough
just hit
for
you with
sure.
regular moto questions because it's kind of like gets watered down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a solid question, dude. Like, if you come and you just say, hey, bro, these are the 2 riders we're interested in. Money's not an issue. What's your best return on investment? Because let me tell you,
I
Jet
know my answer.
Jet on the bike is obvious right now
Yeah.
because of what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at those YouTube numbers
Mm-hmm.
and you look at the vlog numbers and you look at the Instagram numbers and you look at the line of people that are fucking lined up to meet Danger Boy or take a picture with Danger Boy,
Right.
fan wise, Jet ain't
Okay.
winning the war.
Mm-mm.
So, but from a business perspective, you're going to look and say, okay, but the big corporate sponsors are going to also want that media presence that Danger Boy brings as well. Now, we're yet to see. He could be the next Jet Lawrence. I mean, for his rookie year, I think Jet got 3rd in the points his rookie year. That's when he cartwheeled it when Verandis was passing him at Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
He got 3rd in the points. So Danger Boy's rookie year, he got 2nd in the points. So who would you go with, dude? Like, and you know, for the long-term investment.
I think long-term investment, I have to go with Jet. I think Jet's going to be, he has the fan base. Of course, he doesn't have the YouTube channel and stuff. But I think Jet is going to be a more smarter thing, say smarter things on camera, where right now Danger Boy doesn't give a fuck, bro. Like when he was cleaned out,
Yeah.
I don't think he cleaned out Jordan. I think it was Jordan Smith's fault, but his reaction to the media in that one.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, he's going to be controversial. He doesn't give a fuck. Where I think Jet's going to be a little bit smarter with what he says, a little more calculated, and bring a little more brand friendly vibe to it.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you? You said you had something.
So as much as I hate Jet, I'll tell you about that next. I'm taking Jet on this one. So if you look at it, Deegan's already had the backing. Deegan grew up with Supercross tracks and Motocross tracks, and who his dad was. So he already had like that infinite funding already. So I think that if you supported Jet with the exact same thing, he could pull it off just as well, if not better. But that's just kind of where I sit, because that's how I see it.
Yeah, but let's not take out the results part. I'm talking about investment. What do you think investment wise? Long term, if you were an investor and you said, which one of these two riders do we think long term is going to have a better ROI?
I'm still saying Jet.
Still going Jet?
Because Jet's got his whole thing too. So Jet's the donut dude.
ROI. Okay. Yeah, I got a take on that. I fucking hate how he's promoting donuts, bro. Here's the thing. All these people don't realize the influence they have on their fans, bro. If you follow me, you're going to see nothing but promoting positive habits, fitness, nutrition, mindset, habits, routine, stuff like this, nutrition, all this stuff. Why is he promoting donuts? He's not fucking eating donuts, bro. Why doesn't he promote some solid shit?
So let me, this is going to be great, dude. I made a comment. I went to the Jet Hunter Lawrence fucking press release where Hunter did a whip in the parking lot down in some mall.
Yeah.
Awesome event. Got to tell you, they put it together very well. I was there, had an introduction to Myrtle. And I asked him a question. I said, I think you're missing one component with the whole donut deal, which is, why aren't you making some sort of athlete influence?
That's what I'm saying,
donut,
bro.
Meaning that it had something, whether it brought electrolytes, whether it brought proper carb rehydration. I don't know. I'm not the nutrition fucking guy. But I said, what you should be making is some sort of performance donut as opposed to just some fucking sloppy big ass donut with frosting on top that you're trying to sell as the best donut in the world, which at the end of the day, Jet don't give a flying fuck. He just wants to see checks. But I'm on board with you completely. No one in their right mind thinks Jet's Lawrence laying around sucking down fucking donuts all day long.
I can actually attest to the fact that he does not. I waited outside of the Honda pit with a box of Dunkin' Donuts for probably about 3 hours until one of the Honda dudes came outside, knocked them out of my hand. So I kind of got pissed off. I started lobbing donuts into the Honda HRC pit. Swear to God. I almost hit Sexton with one too, because he was sitting in a chair under like one of those tents, and I started whipping them at him.
What were you going for with the Dunkin' Donuts?
I want to see if Joe would take one, because I met up with him actually. I was at the High Point Regional, or no, not the High Point. It was Buzz Creek. So I was at Buzz Creek, and I met him at one point, and I was like, dude, if you podium, I have a box of donuts for you. And he came up to me and he was like, dude, I'll take one of those donuts. I could give you my jersey. And I was like, I'll wait outside for however fucking long for a fucking like jersey. So he podiumed. I think he took second. I went over there and I sat there right outside the gate because I didn't have a pit pass too to get in there anymore. They had like closed down like a premium pit pass or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there with my box of donuts. One of the dudes comes by and like a Can-Am or something out of the Honda pit, knocked him out of my hand. I was pissed. And Jet saw me, turned around, walked the other way. And I was like, dude, I was wearing a cowboy hat, a cutoff, and like shorts. So like he knew it.
A clown.
He knew it was me. He knew I was the kid that was like, yo, give me your jersey when you podium on this. And he was like, all right.
All right, dude. So hopefully we're going to pull this fucking reel out and it goes viral. Jet Lawrence, you owe homeboy a jersey. And anybody who is a Honda HRC who knocked the donuts out of his hand as a kid, I guarantee you don't want to fuck with him now because he's been in the gym. So maybe you have to run that back at Anaheim, bro. We'll stand there with some Dunkin' Donuts till you get your jersey. If not, we'll have a fucking donut war.
I'm gonna make him come to me this time though. I ain't standing around for him.
So that's an interesting story. Yeah, I like that, dude. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of my suggestion with the whole thing was, all right, dude, you're a professional athlete. It's like a fucking professional athlete saying, yeah, bro, go to go to fucking Burger King, dude, and you're gonna kill Whoppers with fucking
That's
fries,
what I'm saying, bro.
It just the alignment with the
It's
product is off.
Bro. Everybody's doing this shit too. Half these influencers are posting about their party lifestyle and shit. It's like, nah. Promote being the best version of yourself.
Yeah. I know I agree with you on that one. The donut thing's definitely the product don't match who he is.
Right.
You know. So I want to jump into something else real quick, which I find interesting. Where do you feel I'm sure you've been following the sport for a long time. I think you're young.
I can remember, yeah.
You're young, dude, but like, you know, I watched when I was growing up, like I was at the end of the Rick Johnson era.
Okay.
Right when McGrath came in.
I was named after Jeremy McGrath.
Okay, so there you go. Okay, so I have some Jeremy McGrath stories that are pretty cool from when I was a kid. But do you feel the sport is beginning to get a little soft?
I would say, yeah. I mean, you look at when Hunter jumped in on the podium when Danger Boy did the thing, he was talking about it. I think it depends, bro. There's two sides to it.
What about on the bike?
Like
kind of what I'm looking at is like you go back and you watch old Moto reels and old Supercross. And no, am I saying it should be death cross where you just pin it wide open and try to T-bone a guy and fucking break his back? I'm not saying that at all. But this probation and we reviewed it and it looked a little aggressive. Because I got to be honest with you. When Bam retires, there is a huge void in this fucking sport for entertainment value. You know, Barsha is the most entertaining guy on the track because you know two things. One, you better be way faster than him because if he does try to come past you, he's coming like a fucking freight train. And two, if you're faster than him, you better be prepared to pass him. And it makes for like really good entertainment. Now, people are going to burn me down and go, oh, it's not safe. And I'm not saying purposely scrub the triple and try to take the guy's wheel out. I am not promoting that at all. But the racing, I feel, has gotten so soft, dude. Like don't bump into him. Was that pass clean? And he barely tapped his front wheel. And I wonder if they're just trying to cater to the new generation because the old school people are just like, what are you talking about? Like, that's normal shit. I mean, where do you think they're going with this, with the probation and the docking of points and all this bullshit?
I mean, I think sometimes it's too much, but then other times it's necessary.
Okay.
I think sometimes it's necessary to have something in there. If somebody's just on Barsha status, just cleaning people out dirty, I think sometimes you got to put a stamp on it, bro. But yeah, I think Rubin's racing at the same time.
Okay.
So I think it's the intention behind it and the situation, but fuck, dude, if you're just hurting people at a certain point, then that's a different.
I would say his move on Mookie last year was gnarly. You know, that was a direct T-bone. Like I'm not okay with that. But you know, I think, dude, like this is a contact sport. This is the baddest motherfuckers in the world, and and you see to a certain extent what it's done to the NBA. NBA games are fucking pathetic now.
I've never even watched one.
You shouldn't, because it's like watching paint dry, because half of the fucking game is you watching the referees constantly blow the whistle when they barely tap each other. So it's completely slowed the game down, allowed for more advertisement, right? Because if they're constantly going to break or they're constantly showing fouls, you can run more advertisements. So I get why they do that, but I just hope that Supercross doesn't become a sport where, because that does change things. You know, a guy like Anderson or Barsha gets put on probation, they ride different because they don't want to get docked. They don't want to lose bonus money. They don't want to lose championship points. So I just feel like, I don't know, the sport's gotten definitely a little soft, and that's just my opinion. What do you think?
I actually had a trainer who used to race pro probably 10, 12 years ago. And one of the first things he taught me was how to clean someone out.
Fuck yeah, dude.
He was like, if you're going for somebody, you go straight for the front caliper. You knock that out, and they're done.
Yeah.
You don't get that.
Because you don't want them to pass you back.
No, exactly. You're coming around the outside of a turn, and you want to pass this person. Like, if they're on the ground, it makes it easier to pass them.
Yeah.
As long as you aren't intentionally going, like, if you're going for somebody's leg or something like that, and you're trying to, like, just completely fuck the dude over, like, I'm not about that. But I feel like old school racing compared to how it is now, it's completely different world.
All right. I think, like I said, I think it takes away from the entertainment value a little.
Yeah, I
just
can see
in my
that.
opinion.
I think coming from a racer's perspective, though, racing clean is better, bro.
No, I know,
exactly.
I know.
You end up hurt
As
less.
soon as
and
I
it's-
get cleaned out, or dude, I'm pissed. There's a video on my Instagram where me and another rider came together at Day in the Dirt last year. And it was nobody's fault. It was a racing incident, but I went down and he didn't. And you got the GoPro video. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Okay.
And it just pisses you off regardless. And you look at it back and it's like, okay, that wasn't his fault really. But in the comments too were pretty funny. If you go back to that one, you'll see everybody, bro, it wasn't even. It's like, bro, it's in the moment, dude. I was pissed.
Yeah. And I think some of the stuff is not premeditated. Now with my boy Bam, that shit's premeditated.
He's coming.
Barsha sets that shit up from 2 laps ago. So, but I think some of the more, accidental shit or just in the moment had to make a racing decision stuff, this whole probation, we need to review it and fucking docu positions. Like, come on, bro. You're doing too much with that. But I had another interesting kind of, I catch you off guard a little bit with this one.
All right.
I got a buddy. Shout out to my boy Casey Cromer. He's the baddest 35 plus novice factory rider from fucking Ventura. My buddy puts in 110% effort, and it usually doesn't pay off. But he is, and he's gonna kill me for this one. He is a bike setup fucking fanatic. He's the type of guy that can go out there, and if his bike is a half a click off, his day's ruined. Me, on the other hand, because I don't know what a good suspension feels like or what shitty suspension feels like, I just pin it and basically say the shit all feels the same to me. And I got a question for you. If you had to give a straight answer as to which is more important, if you told me, hey, I can have my fitness absolutely fucking dialed and the bike's off, or would you take the bike being absolutely spot on, A-kit spot on, but my fucking fitness is a little bit off?
Little bit off or way the fuck off?
Well, okay, let's go way the fuck off. Let's just say the bike is absolutely plush, sucking up every fucking bump on the track. Just Eli Tomac dialed in A-kit shit for you, but the fitness is just fucked. Or would you take, I'm an Ironman absolute beast, and the bike's a complete pile of shit? Well, which one you taking?
If your fitness is dog shit, you're tired in half a lap, bro, and you're not even using the suspension, and you're just putting around because you're donezo. You got arm pump, you're fucked.
Okay.
So I would take dialed ass fitness and find some smooth lines, bro.
Okay.
Get creative, look around, maybe some cheater lines. Like fucking, we were at Paris on Wednesday, 2 nights ago. And we were finding all sorts of cheater lines, banking in and out of the corners, jumping off the track a little bit, finding smooth lines. There was a million people there. Okay. So I think if your bike setup, a shitty bike setup sucks, dude. I can't lie. I mean, having nice suspension is a game changer. It'll make you way faster, and it'll make you have better fitness, because you can ride longer because you're just one with the bike. But I mean, if your suspension's perfect and your fitness sucks, you're still smoked in 2 laps.
Okay.
You're not finishing the race strong.
Well, yeah, look, this whole segment right here was from my boy Casey, because I preached the same thing. I told him, bro, we're not going fast enough. I don't feel I'm going fast enough for it to make that big of a difference. And people will disagree with me. They're like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. If you jumped on shit that was dialed in completely, you'd be top 5 in the intermediate class. I don't know that because I don't know how to relay back to the person what I feel, because I'm not experienced enough. They'll say, oh, bro, did it have hold up? Was it fucking, does it seem like it's squatting? Do you feel like you're bottoming out? I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm just fucking pinning it. And I can only tell you if I almost crashed or I didn't almost crash.
Yeah.
Whereas my friend Casey has the ability, bro, he knows it all. It's got a little bit of hold up coming in, but when I come out of the exit, it wants to get away from me. And I was having that conversation and I'm like, all right, fuck the bike. Just come into the World Vets in tip-top shape, and I guarantee you that endurance is going to far outweigh anything that you do to your suspension. And I just thought it was a valid question to ask you, like, if you had your choice. So you're coming in saying, I'd rather be in tip-top tip-top condition
Hell
and
yeah.
the bike be off.
You'll see that on the website in some of the testimonials, bro.
Okay.
They're like, dude, I've spent way more than this program on bike parts, and this has worked way fucking better, bro.
That's what I wanted to hear, bro. Because right, so you look at it, and if somebody's going to make an investment in getting faster, the first thing most people say is, fuck yeah, bro, call fucking Enzo. Let me get the A-kit shit, and let's go and fucking do, go to Twisted and make the bike a beast. And then you go back out there and you're like, oh, fuck, bro, you didn't even drop your lap times.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you can't go wrong. Like, a dialed bike setup is a game changer, bro. 100%.
See, I've never ridden good suspension.
You got to get your shit's, it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be. I don't know. People will ask me like, dude, your shit's on stock, and then I'll get on another bike and I can't really feel the difference. I'm hoping that I hope I get that skill someday to be able to give that feedback. But I think you made a great point. If you're going to make an investment in getting faster, you're almost better off investing in your fitness than you are spending, because I've had people tell me you'll never be at the front of the intermediate class unless you go buy a kit. And then I contact the people from Showa and I'm like, what's your skill level? I'm like, oh, I'm a fast novice rider. I can win the novice class and run mid-pack in the intermediate. And they go into hysterics and they go, you don't need A-kit. You're not even fast enough to make A-kit work. And then I talk to other people and they're like, bro, you get A-kit, it's a fucking game changer. You'll be going down Mount St. Helen just swallowing those bumps up. So you sit around and I go, do I invest 10 grand in A-kit to see if that actually works? I mean, I don't know.
Fuck, bro. I might. If I was you, I might get a fucking A-kit. Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, bro, put a healthy Eli Tomac on the most dog shit suspension. He's still going to smoke all of us, bro. Guaranteed.
So, yeah, it kind of proves the point. But, all right, dude, I want to ask you a quick question on the fitness side of shit. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Sexton bailing from the program that he's been on, that he's been very successful on, and you hear a mixed thing of him like training in Santa Barbara with some dude and doing his training thing. He's not really talkative about his training a lot when you hear the interviews, whereas Webb's like, yeah, I'm training at Alden's. We all know Eli's there with his dad. How do you feel that changed from having, I don't want to say freedom, because I'm sure it's very structured. You don't get as good as Chase Sexton or run that type of speed without a structured fucking workout program, exercise program.
Yeah.
How do you think that transition looks from him not having that freedom? We all know that KTM, you're going to Alden's. Like it or not, you're going to Alden's to train. What do you think that looks like? And do you think the transition from that Honda to a KTM is as simple as everybody thinks? Because I've been getting burned down on the internet basically saying it's not going to make a difference, bro. He's going to jump on the KTM and just destroy everybody. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts coming from a guy that rode at a pretty high level? I don't know if you've switched bikes a lot or if you've only rode one brand. I've only rode one brand my whole life. My stint on a KTM was very short. It was about 4 rides. I cartwheeled it, broke my leg, and then sold it for a Yamaha. Mm-hmm. But what do you think, dude? Do you think he just jumps on the KTM, gets on Eldon's program, and is just destroying everyone?
I don't think so. I don't think he just jumps on it and is destroying everyone. But at the same time, I think he'll feel comfy on the bike. I think they have enough development into that bike now, at least, unless they get it all brand new KTM. I think it's going to be a good bike, and I think it's going to be a good program for him. I don't think he's going to jump over there and just fall apart, bro. I mean,
what do you think, though, mentally? I know you hear rumors he trains with Kenny, and you'll hear him riding with AC. So you have 2 guys that are getting to see your program, get to see your speed during the week. What's that look like when it's Mookie, Christian, him, possibly Webb? You know, that's different, dude. Now you got the dudes that you're going to be lining up with on the weekend that are going to be fucking crawling down your throat, and they got to watch you ride all week long.
I think it only elevates them, bro.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you look at Chase, I think mentally he's not as strong, but I think he's going to smoke him during the week, bro. He's just got the speed, you know. On the other hand, if during the week, Webb, Christian, all these guys are blowing him out of the water, he's fucked.
Okay.
Mentally.
You just think mentally he ends up going to the track and he can't seem to put that away? Because the truth is, everyone's talked about that's Webb's strength. They've even openly said Webb's sometimes 3rd, 4th fastest guy, at the test track or at fucking practice track, and then show up on race day. It's beast mode, fucking psycho Webb, and mentally he's able to just block out the fact that he got waxed all week and put the bike up front, and it'll be I don't think Chase will be as fast as Mookie. I know everyone's gonna go crazy about that. I don't think so, dude.
You don't think Chase is gonna be as fast as Mookie on practice day?
Not right away. I don't see him just going to that training facility. I think Mookie's got the speed, dude. Yeah, he was a victim of a fucking midweek crash, and yeah, he hit the misshift and cartwheeled it at Anaheim. And once again, people would say, if my grandma had balls, she wouldn't be my grandma. And I understand that. But Mookie was on his way to win in Anaheim, or damn near close to it.
He was ripping.
He was ripping, dude. And I think when Mookie's on his game, he can really put it together. And I'm just telling you, bro, I like to put it out. I don't think Chase is going to just smoke Mookie, even on practice days. Christian and AP, I think so, but not Mookie.
I think Sexton will blow him away in practice day, bro. Oh, honestly.
Dude. Damn, you guys got no faith in me. All right, dude. So a couple more people I want to touch on while I got you here.
Yeah.
My boy AC. Been a fan since I was a kid. Remember watching, not since I was a kid, but since he was a kid. Sorry. I remember watching him, no one will ever forget the shoulder deal where he was in the tunnel and you just saw the emotion because he was on his way to basically just dominating that year. And then he comes out and at the Monster Cup deal, fucking puts it on Eli. And I'm just like, okay, dude, AC's here. He's here and he's here to stay. Clearly, we see that that's not what happened. And with the injuries and just his arms and his wrists and everything else, do you ever see Adam Cincerillo getting a 450 main event win in Supercross?
I think so. He's going to just have to get whatever he's got going on in his arm, elbow, whatever it is, figured out. Wrist, whatever it is, his shit goes numb, bro. And he can't ride anymore. But he's doing everything he can to fix that. He's doing stem cells. Maybe that'll be the answer. Okay. If he can figure out whatever's going on, I think
the talent's
he can win.
There. That's definitely no
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's got a 1 year deal. They're saying it's a 1 year deal with Cowie. One more deal. 1 more year. Do you see him ever move into a different team, or you think? I guess it all depends. If that 1 year goes well and he's putting it on the box, I could probably see Cowie extending that out. But let's say it doesn't go as planned. Do you think he hangs it up? Do you think he just says, "Look,
he might have no choice, bro. He might have no choice if it comes down to it. Shit doesn't go well. He doesn't have a ride, and his injury is still lingering.
Yeah,
he might not have a choice. But I think at this point, he's still all in. He still wants it. You saw the emotion on the podium a couple weeks ago. I mean, he wants it bad. It's just
that was one of the best. That was one of the best podium interviews ever, dude. And he's another guy, dude. I've met. He let me take a photo and shit with him at Glen Helen on just a regular practice day. Mm-hmm. Great guy, dude. Super fucking cool. Like, super cool. Like, I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry to bug you. I know you're testing and shit. Can I just get a picture? And he's like, yeah, of course, dude. How you like the track and stuff. And I was like, fuck, bro. It scared me to death when you went blowing around me on the downhill. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was like, but other than that, it was great. And it was just a really nice stand-up dude.
Hell yeah. Solid dude.
Well, dude, anything else? Anything else you guys want to touch on with the fitness stuff, or anything else you want to talk about before we let you go?
I mean, you got any questions about fitness you want to answer?
I do, dude. I mean, I go ahead and go on record and tell you that I've been on the program now a week. I would tell you I'm really enjoying the structure. I'm not an individual that had a hard time going to the gym. I actually enjoy it. I get up 6 o'clock every morning, wake my daughter up from school, hit the gym, and then go about my day. But it was just random exercises. I didn't know what I should be doing, what muscles I should be working. And I would tell you, like I told you guys after lunch, I've never felt my calves kind of feel the way they feel. And I was telling my buddy Casey, I go, yeah, they've designed a program that have me working out muscles that I fucking never worked out before, which are going to pertain to riding the bike better. I'm assuming if my calves and legs are stronger, I can fucking squeeze the bike harder. I'm assuming if, my arms and shoulders and some of those other muscles are in shape, I'll be able to ride through maybe some of that arm pump. So I would tell you the first week's gone great, and I'm highly motivated to continue on the program and see it translate to the bike. Unfortunately, I haven't had my bike for a week or two now, but it'll be interesting to see that workout and then go riding on Thursday and see how I feel. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, before I was a 10 to 12 minute before the lap times really fell off. And I'd like to, these old vet races are about 15 to 17 minutes. So I want to really apply what I'm doing with your guys' program and time that out and say, well, fuck, dude, I just put in a solid 15-minute moto and my lap times didn't drop. All right, now I put in an 18-minute moto and my lap times didn't drop. So I'm more excited to see the work translate onto the bike. The mirror shit, it's not my motivation. I don't look in the mirror and go, oh, fuck, look, bro, I look great. I'm not that into myself that much to really care about that part of it. But I am very excited to see how it translates on the bike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both will come for sure. Just wait till couple months from now he's on the podcast like flexing a six-pack.
No, fuck that, bro. I'll be flexing the six-pack at the World Vets, bro.
That's right, bro.
I'll be flexing on all of them.
Yeah, no, keep everybody updated on that, the results on the bike, bro. I mean, it's gonna come. You're a week into it, bro, and you haven't really gotten to ride since, or you rode Thursday, but
I haven't gotten
two workouts in.
Two workouts in. So yeah, I mean, and the good part is I do actually track a lot of that. I got the little My Laps deal. So I have it set up to where I'm able to look back and go, and I have made strides, but it's still that 10 to 12 minute mark where everything fucking falls apart. Mm-hmm. It's like those first 10 minutes, bro, I'm the eye of the tiger. And then the last 5 minutes, I'm in survival mode.
Yeah.
And when you're in survival mode, you can't push it. You're just riding around the track to survive.
And that's when you're going to get hurt is as soon as you start to fall off and you have that, like, I got to go half as fast to just like stay on the bike. That's going to be when the injuries are going to come. And that's hugely related to how good your cardio is. So your 10 to 12 minute motos, you could bump it up to 20, 30 minute motos if you had like a solid cardio base. Because that's what's going to allow you to go out and actually maintain pace for longer.
Got it. Yeah. And that's what I'm looking for, dude, is like, I don't need to put in 35s. I'd love to. But I'd like to just, I believe I will. And I think my goal is just to, like I said, is to hit these 5 to 7 lap races. And in my mind, go to the gate knowing I can push it all 7 laps. Whereas now I go to the gate and go, all right, so lap 5, if I don't have a big enough lead, because I know what lap 6 and 7 are going to look like, you know that mentally. Like no one that rides a dirt bike, going to the line, oh, I'm fucked. Like I haven't been training, 100%. Shit's fucked. So I'm going to be excited to see what my potential is going to the line and mentally knowing, hell no, I'm in this for 7 to 10 laps and I can push it the entire time.
That's the biggest shift, bro. When you can go to the gate knowing that you're ready, you can look around and say, nobody's preparing like I am.
Yeah.
I'm the most fit guy here. I'm finishing this race strong. When I see the white flag, I'm be like, damn, already?
Yeah.
Not be on lap 3 like, fuck, dude, where's that white flag, bro?
Oh, no, dude. The previous World Vet race, they give you the little halfway fucking marker. The guy does some shit. Fuck, bro. He put that shit out there, and I'm like, oh, boy, here we go. And that was the difference between me winning and losing that race. And this is people in the podcast world don't give a shit about my little World Vet race, but it does apply to the average Joe, which was I was able to run with the dude in front of me till lap 5. And he had that extra push is where he gapped me, 10, 12, 15 seconds was because, dude, I was shot. I was like, dude, I blew my wad. It's over. I can't catch this guy. So I'll be stoked to hit the World Vets this year and really just push it all the way through.
I'm calling it right now. You get the W
Taking
at World
it down,
Vets this
bro.
year.
Well, dude, want to thank you guys very much for coming on. We'll go ahead and put it back up on there. So this is the website you can go to.
You can check out the website, check out the testimonials, see what people are saying about the program. And then if you're interested in it or just even have any general questions for me, just hit my DMs and I'll help you out, bro.
Awesome. Well, dude, thanks again to both of you guys for coming into the podcast, dude. We'll definitely do this again with when the outdoors start and we got some more bench racing shit to talk about. We'll definitely have you guys back on. I'll give you kind of a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month little update as to where I'm at. And other than that, thank you guys for watching the Motobookie Podcast. Everybody, we did launch the new app. So we have a new post wall. We have an all new app. We're going live for paid subscriptions for the first race of the outdoors. As always, we charge a flat subscription fee. We don't take a percentage of your winnings. We don't charge any weird fees. You can go on there. You can bet 100 times a weekend. You can bet 5 times a weekend. You'll only pay $9.99 for the entire package. And we urge you guys to get on there. All you bench racers that are murdering me on Instagram saying that I'm a complete dipshit moron, Bookie bro, come see me. Put your money where your mouth is. And every time I tell that to somebody, they threaten to basically take my life savings. So it's here for the taking, boys. So if you guys want to put your cash up, I invite it. Bring it. All right. So thanks again. And we'll definitely catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Later.